Hey everybody, this is your girl Deborah Coco, and make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic on all social media. Also, check us out on BRONXNET channel 16 on Sundays at 10 p.m. And soon we'll be launching on MNN coming up in June, everybody. So stay tuned for that network information. Support. If you want to interview, make sure you hit me up on justgivemethemic12@gmail.com. You want us to come out and rep at one of your events, also hit me up for that as well. And love is love, everybody. See y'all soon. Support. Hey everybody, we are back. I'm so excited, to talk to my next guest because I've seen her in action. I see the love that she gives to everybody in the community. I see how she's always pushing artists to be great, giving them a great environment where they can work and show their talents to the world. But there's a lot more that a lot of people don't know about Miss Maria Davis because she's been in this business for years, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I want to start off, if you could give us a little background for those who don't know, okay? So they'll know that, just give us a little bit of background.
Oh, okay. So I shared with you that I had a modeling career. So I made money. I was
Nice.
with a modeling agency called Pat Evans. Some people knew her. I don't know the people's ages of your demographics, but she was the bald-headed model on the Ohio Player Covers album. So
Oh,
that was who my modeling agency was, and I came up with people like Beverly Johnson
wow.
and Naomi Campbell was after us, but Beverly Johnson, Pat Cleveland,
Okay.
Magic. Yeah, I came up with some very powerful women, and we
Wow.
all shared go-sees and information together. And we was just a different kind of group. Some of them babysitted for me because by that time I had my son.
Okay.
So I had modeling babysitters, and my son was even in the modeling industry, and my daughter.
Oh, okay.
My son did more work than my daughter.
Okay. So then
Yeah,
you started off actually modeling, and that led you into the music lane?
Yes, it did. Well, I was still, I was modeling, but I was into the music life anyway because I was working at a club called the Cellar Restaurant, and there Chaka Khan would come and eat, and Phyllis Hyman, and so I got to see a lot of great people. Bill Underwood, who was managing different artists. So I got introduced to the music industry through the Cellar Restaurant and Bob Tate and Deidre Tate and Shelly Brooks, who was doing Sweetwater showcases at the Sweetwaters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was like modeling and the music kind of.
Yeah, entertainment was just all around you from the 9 to 5 to the to a second.
And then my son's father played with Freddie Jackson.
Oh, wow.
And he also played with Luther Vandross. He was part of the group Change.
Wow.
And so I know Melissa Morgan, Allison Williams, Just Call My Name.
Oh, wow.
So it was a modeling music kind of blend thing.
Right. So I know that you became an activist for HIV and AIDS and things like that. So how did that come about?
Well, it was so funny because when I was diagnosed with HIV, people didn't even know. At that time, I was doing my showcases at Club Esso, which was Puffy and 112 and all of these different people. And I was sick at the time. I was diagnosed with AIDS by then. And so nobody even knew. Queen Latifah, nobody knew. Own Stubbs and Hart, nobody knew. Oh goodness, y'all still see me?
You look great.
And so my I had to stop by 1999 because I was very sick. I was almost 95 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I had developed a very serious infection, so that I was HIV positive in 1995, but by 1998, I was diagnosed with AIDS.
So in the beginning, you were saying that I read something that you didn't want to take the medication at first.
No,
true?
That is very true.
Okay.
So at the time, it was only AZT because people don't know that medication didn't come around to towards the end of 1996 and 1997.
Okay.
They did have a treatment, but it was AZT. And everybody knew the AZT, that was just a failed cancer treatment. So where people, it seemed promising and hope, but by the end of a couple of months, the person was dead or they looked crazy. Like with Black people, our hair was thick, our nail beds were very dark. So people knew that you had AIDS. So I didn't want to look like that.
Okay.
So I wouldn't take the medication.
That was the result of taking that medication.
That was the result of taking AZT and your immune system being beat up on, you know, and to me, you look like a baby. Your hair was like baby thin hair.
I know. I remember being younger and coming across some people that had it. But so then what happened after 3 years later when you started taking the medication when it became full blown?
And then I was taking drug holidays.
Okay. Like
I was taking drugs, and I was like, no, I'm on Dr. Sebi. I ain't gonna take the drugs. And even though Dr. Sebi, his holistic treatment really is God first.
Yes.
But his treatment is one of the things that really kept me to where I am, you know, today.
And the thing about it, a lot of people do not give him the credit. Like he is phenomenal. He is phenomenal with
almost CMOS. Everybody's taking CMOS. I've been drinking CMOS for years. CMOS with bladder. I've been taking it.
I'm new. I must admit, once this COVID thing came around, I never heard of CMOS before. Until March.
Yes. CMOS, elderberry. People need to be taking a lot of vitamin C. People need to be taking zinc. You know, you need. They have this this concoction called Immunity that has a little bit of everything in it.
Okay.
So, because you know, I don't know, but it's looking like we're going to get a second wave of COVID, and people need to start. This is the summertime. You need to do some exercise, and movement is medicine, and you need to be trying to set out a regimen and an exercising plan and a changing the lifestyle of how you eat, so that when the flu season does come around and you do get hard, you don't get hit so hard. But COVID is very different, because I've heard of people that athletes that COVID done damaged them. Didn't have no health disparities, no nothing. Very healthy, 100% healthy, and now they can't even walk a block.
Right. It has really, you're right. It has taken, and then you have some people that's walking around here that don't have any symptoms, but they have.
Absolutely.
And you can catch it from.
But for our community, we know that this has hit like HIV, like high blood pressure, like diabetes. All of the health disparities, we're number one.
We are.
What we do know is, because we are at risk, we need to do some other health interventions that the other people are not doing, that we need to do. And
so give us some suggestions, because I know you're just coming from a meeting. If you want to share anything, I'm going to sit back and listen. I'm going to get the most out of my 30 minutes with you today. I will not interrupt. Share whatever information that you feel like can serve our community. I'm going to make sure I air this and get this out, but I'm definitely going to listen. I want to hear. So the floor is yours.
So you know, I'm still doing the music industry showcase Mad Wednesday, but of course that's on hold. So I'm trying to figure out now how I'm gonna get do my showcases, because I have artists that want to do it. And because of the social distancing, and because we cannot be on top of each other in bars and clubs, because this is really why the spread is the spread. Because of clusters of people, and this is what they found out. They have gone to the states that now have the high resurgent numbers, which is Kansas, which is Arkansas, which is California, Texas,
Florida. You know, Florida now their numbers have gone up so much.
And Delaware, they begging now. They begging for the federal See, but they was all listening to the orange man in the White House.
Right.
Who was telling you
safe and they didn't have to take precautions and all that.
And you're listening to that crazy man talking about if we continue to test, we're gonna find more people. Hell yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to find the people. Because when you find the people, you're able to come in and do intervention. Same thing with HIV. It was Black African Americans, we still do have the highest numbers of HIV infections. Still today, honey. Still today. The stigma.
That's interesting to know because, like I said, you don't hear about it as much anymore. You'll see a few commercials. Like, I don't really watch regular TV that much. I'm like Netflix and everything else. So I miss seeing just commercials for different medical treatments or new medications that come out. So to me, I'm not reminded of it as much.
Right.
You know?
Well, since COVID, thank God, HIV's been talked about. Since COVID. Because it's the same stigma. So now when people say, you know, my family member died, but they didn't die of COVID. I was like, whoa, that is so crazy. That's the statement now. That's people's first statement. Oh, my family member died, but they didn't die of COVID. Like, what difference does it make? They died.
Right. They're still not here, right? Regardless of what.
So, you know, the stigma on COVID, same thing.
I didn't realize that there was a stigma.
Yes, honey. People like, oh no, I'm sick, but I don't have COVID.
I caught. It's just allergy.
Right. I got pneumonia. You got pneumonia in June and July. Pneumonia is not really popular in June. Why do you have pneumonia now? Oh, well, it's pneumonia. They tested me for, but do you know you can have a false positive?
Yeah, I heard that.
So you know, that's why they call it novel, because it's new.
Okay.
Every day is changing. Like now they know not to put people on ventilators.
Right. They actually harmed some people, right?
Girl, they killed the older people. It killed them. So now what they know to do is you lay the person on their stomach. So for anybody that's out there that may have symptoms, please make sure you go and get a test. Today is COVID day of action. So they're trying to test 150,000 people in New York City by Friday. The COVID tests are free. So I went and I did mine in Harlem. But if you go to the website, you can call 311 and they will tell you where you could go and get a COVID test. They have COVID vans throughout the 5 boroughs.
They do.
So, yes, the diagnostic for the nose. It's a little uncomfortable. I had it done yesterday. I did it
perfect. I mean, it looked like they sticking it kind of far.
Yes, they stick it to touch your brains.
Right.
But the thing is, like I told somebody, if you dead, it don't matter.
Right.
So to me,
you take that for a couple of seconds.
By the time she dug up my nose, and I was like, oh, and she said, open your mouth, take a breath. She was out my nose.
Okay.
So if it's to make sure, same thing with HIV. If you've been exposed to COVID or you have COVID and you don't have symptoms, that's better for you. That's better for your elderly family members. That's better for your young children, your nieces and your nephews. That's better for them for you to be able to take care of yourself, quarantine, put some oregano in a pot with some lemon peels, some orange peel, and steam. Put the towel over your head and steam 4 and 5 times a day. Lay on your stomach. Take a lot of vitamin C, elderberry, oregano oil. That's even if you don't have COVID. Oregano oil is good for your lungs and
to open it up and to keep it.
Yes. Oregano oil and black seed oil. It is too many remedies out here that our ancestors have taught us. I have my book, Back to Eden. You know, that's old school book where they give you all these different remedies for everything.
Wow.
You cut up onions on your chest. That's what my grandmother did. She put the onions on your chest at night. You'll be sitting there, and by the morning, you won't have no more cold.
Right. You have to do the natural remedies are best before you pile up with all these medications. Me, myself, I think I bought black seed, the sea moss. I have something with moringa. You heard of moringa?
Yes, moringa's excellent.
I'm just finding out about moringa. See?
And do a cleansing.
Yeah.
And do a cleansing.
Right?
Detox and cleanse.
Right.
You don't have to do no whole big kit. They got detox teas out here that you can't stop eating meat. You don't have to eat meat every day. Cleanse yourself.
Right.
Put some vegetables. Green. Green is live, living food.
Right.
Anything that's not living is dead. So if it's dead, it's not nourishing your body.
Right.
So but this is
sharing that, the health tips, because it's very important, because we do need to be more conscious of taking care of ourselves at this point, even more so than ever before.
Honey.
Right.
Don't be a dead corpse. God said, we're here to live abundantly. I came to give you life and give it abundantly. He didn't say I came to give you life and be sick. Right. Of course, in life, things happen. I'm living with AIDS. Things happen to everybody. But the thing is, how do you accept it and how do you deal with it? Right. You cannot combat an illness if you have not been educated about it. How can you have diabetes and you don't know what your numbers are? If you type 2, you could turn it around. If you exercise, movement is medicine. Right. We need to be doing all of those different things. Yes, music is important. I still do my showcases, but I bring these messages on my showcase.
Oh, you do?
I do testing at the showcase. I do Hep C testing at the showcase. I do. We talk to people about PrEP. PrEP is the one once a day HIV medication you can get. Okay. So you don't get HIV. I know that's very confusing. I've
actually seen a commercial with that. Yeah. I guess you could have a
Truvada.
Right.
Truvada for PrEP.
Okay.
So, I'm not a big fan of taking HIV medications if you don't have HIV, but that's according to Maria Davis. Okay. Because everybody out there is different. That might work for somebody. Or if you're HIV negative and you're dealing with someone HIV positive, so that you can protect that other person, you can take PrEP. Right. But people don't know U equals U. Undetectable means untransmittable. If you're undetectable in your virus, in your HIV, that means 99% you will not give your HIV to someone else.
Now, can you break that down a little bit? Because I'm hearing that term, undetectable. So when you test, they find it in your body, but how is that? I'm not 100% sure.
So when you're HIV positive, that is found, they find that you have the HIV antibody. When you take the test, like when we take these tests out on health vans and stuff, they're called preliminary tests. Okay. So you go in, you take an HIV test, they tell you you're either non-reactive or reactive. They don't say positive and negative no more. You got to say reactive and non-reactive. Okay. So if you are reactive, that means then they link you to a community-based organization or to a clinic where you then go in to take further tests. Okay. So those are the confirmatory tests. And then once you confirm that you are HIV positive, then they do a viral load test on you. Okay. Viral load is like the litmus point of telling us the more virus you have in your system, the sicker you can become. Oh. The lower your T cells, the white T cells are your helper cells. Those are the cells that fight off infection, diseases. Okay. If your T cells are low, your body cannot fight off different infections. And there are certain infections that when you're HIV positive and you're transitioning to AIDS that you can get, like PCP pneumonia, Kaposi sarcoma. That's what we saw in the earlier days when you saw sores on men's arms and their faces. That's cancer of the skin. Okay. Women battle cervical cancer. So in the beginning, when they didn't know that the cervical cancer was connected to your T cells, when they didn't know that, women were dying of cervical cancer. But now we know that the higher the T cells, the less chances of your pap smear coming back abnormal. So when I only had 3 T cells, my pap smears were coming back abnormal. That's not good. Right. But once I stayed on my medication and my regimen, my T cells went up. Okay. My pap smears then did not come back abnormal at all.
Oh, wow. See the connection. Like you said, yes, you know, without having the knowledge. That is true. So when your T cells, so if someone has very low T cells, they would be detectable or they could transfer. They're more easy to transfer the virus.
Right. Okay. The more virus you have, the more the higher the risk for the person that you're having sex with to get the virus. But
So
I'm going to tell you,
what?
I'm going to tell you another thing. It is easier for a man to give HIV to a woman than a woman is to a man, because women, our insides are in us,
Right.
the mucus. But a man, the virus has to go through his very small penis hole.
Okay.
So his risk at getting HIV is much lower than our risk.
Oh,
the rate of transmission for HIV is anal sex is first, and then it's vaginal.
Right.
So the anal sex is the #1 transmission because it's blood vessels all in the anus area. So that's why the gay population, it blew out the water with HIV.
Right. And they kind of connected it to that community of people until it started till later on down the road. So the medication, like they say, what was the one that you mentioned? PrEP. What's the name of it?
It's called Truvada, and now they have a new one called Descovy, but Descovy has not been researched on women, so it's not. They don't give it to women. They only give it to men or trans men, transgender.
Okay. So Truvada, what does it do? It helps build the immune system, or like how is it supposed to function within the body?
For a person that's not HIV positive, it blocks the HIV virus from attaching onto the good blood cells and reduplicating.
Okay.
So that's what it does for somebody who doesn't have HIV. And the people that do, because it's also a medication used for people that have HIV.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Truvada is an HIV medication. So for people that have the virus, what it does, it blocks and slows down the reproduction of the HIV cells connecting
to like your T cells, to your good cells, right?
So undetectable means untransmittable. So my viral load, you cannot detect it in me at all.
Wow, isn't that
cool? I can still. That doesn't say that I can't. I still can't pass HIV on, but it's saying 99% chance I will not pass it on.
Okay.
So I cannot pass the HIV virus on to my partner, but I still use protection because it doesn't protect you from chlamydia, from syphilis, from pregnancy if you're younger.
Right.
So people know what I have. You know I'm living with AIDS, but all I'm going on is your word. Because that piece of paper, when you take an HIV test, is good for that moment.
That is true. That is true. If you just, I take the test every year. Oh, you know, I go annually, but I make sure that's part of my physical.
Annual physical.
Because like you said, things can change. You know, a result you had before. You know,
and that's a whole nother conversation about women. You know, carrying their own condoms. My little young sisters out here, not depending on a man to come out with a condom. Having that conversation. Have you been tested? People still having sex out here and they ain't even asked their partner if you want to know that information. And let me rock your boots on this one.
Right.
COVID is in the sperm.
It is.
Yes, ma'am. COVID is in the sperm and COVID is in your feces.
Isn't that something? Well, it kind of like takes over your body.
And COVID is in your saliva. So you got to be careful who you dating.
Right.
This is not a good time to be swapping partners, trying to find a new boo.
Right.
It is not the time for that.
Right.
Because if you're not with that person every day, monogamous, I don't know if that still exists anymore. You know, you have to really know the person.
You don't really know. Right?
Yeah. You have to really have a great communication with your partner. Right. Communication is so important these days.
Yeah, you're right. You know, we don't have time for the secrets and the hidden agendas and all that. We need to know transparency. We really need to be more transparent so we know what's going on for real out here. Like I said, I could use a whole nother hour with you. Like, I know there's so many things that we could talk about because you work your hands on with the community. You know, you've been the frontliner, you've been informing everyone on what's going on, and you share information and you try to make sure everybody has the knowledge. So I know there's so much we could definitely talk about. So I definitely have to request a part 2 today.
Okay.
Sometime in the future, but is
Yeah,
it?
because yes, I'm doing it's a big health forum coming up.
Okay,
And it's on July 18th, and it's called Black Health Matters. We were
okay.
supposed to do it in March at Riverside Church, but I'm doing it through Deidre Tate. It's me, Deborah Fraser Houser, Michelle Obama is going to be coming in. They're doing it virtual, so
Wow.
I'll get the information and send it to you. It's free.
Okay.
And it's a whole day, 9 to 5.
Oh wow.
Of health, all kind of health seminars and sessions and everything.
Please, because we can actually incorporate that into this segment to make sure that as they're watching this interview, they can know to log on July 18th for this event. It would be great. I definitely missed the shrine, though. I know I couldn't make it as much.
Me too.
I was actually going to school on Wednesday nights, so I couldn't really go because that was my night to go to school. But the time, the atmosphere. I was telling the gentleman that's also in the production with us on this show, I was like, you gave artists the opportunity to perform with live bands. And that feeling, you could just see the artists light up even more so. It's a big difference than putting in a CD. And performing to having live music behind you, you know?
Well, I want to thank you too for all the work that you're doing. You know, I'm working with a gentleman named Hassan, bartenders. Okay. So I'm a what they say, not a senior because I'm a young senior, but I'm a young senior bartenders. So we try. I'm working with him on a program called Movement is Medicine, because for my people out there that have illnesses and stuff, listen, you don't have to pop pills all day. Pop some exercise. Pop some exercise. So this is a great forum for me to be able to talk about that. And Hassan said, I think he did one of your programs before. You know, he's the bar father. He be doing all the flips and stuff out in the park on the bars.
Yes, I think I know who you're talking about now, because I have 3. There's one that sings that I know they used to come to the shrine. But I mean, if he has something, look, I'm trying to not only just give me the mic. It's not only about artists and music. It's definitely more community based now. I need to share important information. I'm older. I need to, you know, widen my base of my range of information that I share on this show. You know,
yeah, because he's coming out with a movie, a powerful movie. He works with JGTMTV.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to connect with him and we set up an interview and talk about it as well. It's so convenient to do it from home, so why not try to touch as many people as I can?
You put the cute top on and have your shorts on, your poo poo shorts on the bottom.
I got on my pajamas. Not really pants, but you know, this is exciting. So to find out about the event, we will provide the link for that. As far as the event that you have for HIV that you did today, like how could someone, if they wanted to be a part of that, how can they be a part of that? Are you accepting?
I'll send you the information because I've been doing a lot of Zooms on census. I want to tell everybody, please fill out your census. Black people, fill out your census, because we are being underfunded in our communities. We can't talk about Black Lives Matter and marching if we don't vote and if we don't fill out our census. Please, 10 questions, 10 minutes for 10 years. And it also determines where they draw the lines, the redistricting, and us losing people in the Congress and in the Senate. We have to fill out our census and we have to vote. We got to get the orange man out the White House. That's my last word.
No, that's all important topics. Y'all learned about health from Ms. Maria Davis. We talked about health. We talked about COVID. We talked about HIV. We talked about making sure you fill out that census. Look at what we touched in 30 minutes.
And I have my own website that I just put up. My 2 sisters from BLS that's working on my team. Can'tbesilenced.com.org. Can'tbesilenced.org. CANTBESILENCED. So you can go to the website. I have links on there too about the things that I'm doing. You know, my email is davismarie@msn.com. And my phone number 646-305-4912. Yes, Instagram, Davis_Maria13,
Okay.
and Facebook Maria Antoinette Davis.
Well, I just want to thank you, and I'm gonna be
talking about music, and we talking about COVID.
Look, music ain't going nowhere, right?
That's right.
Going anywhere, right? We had other things we had to talk about. That's all.
That's right.
And I'm okay with that. I already had a music guest, and now we're feeling another need that we're forming the community. So my time.
So Ian, I love him. He's like 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Thank you,
Ian. On track. And we'll have a part 2. And thank you for those who watched the show. I hope you enjoyed. It was very informative. And make sure you go to Maria Davis's website, support her upcoming events. Make sure you go to that Black Lives. What is the name of it?
Black Health Matters. Black Health
Matters. Support Black Health Matters. And if you have a question about any of the events, you can follow up with me on social media, Deborah Coco, or just give me the mic. I will surely pass on this information once I receive it. And thank you for watching the show today. And catch us every Sunday on BRONXNET TV and Sunday on MNN2 in Manhattan. Make sure you check us out and support. Thank you.
Just give me the mic. Yes, I'll be back. Just give me the mic.
Finally, I got to talk with you. Finally.
Yes, I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for having this platform. God bless you.
Thank you. And I'm keeping in touch. Make sure you tag me whatever you have.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you for your time.
You too. Bye.